Namaste. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Matre Namaha. So, this is how we greet in India. You may be aware of it. So, exactly my near death experience has happened during 2009, and I was coming from the morning walk. It was around 7:15. I saw my watch 7:15 last time, remember? And then when I got conscious, I was in a hospital. Okay. So while I was coming from morning walk, the vehicle hit me from backside. And after that, don't know what happened, but in between the hospital and that period, I'm traveling somewhere. I saw that I'm traveling somewhere. I'm giving my hand to somebody. So in India, we always give our right hand. So I'm giving my hand to somebody. And then I felt, no, I'm going somewhere. I'm going up. So what is down? So when I look down, my mutilated body in deep, legs were twisted, this that, and I was on the ground, and there was a black pond around my head. So the blood was dried, and there are people standing next to me. Okay, I saw my daughter, my neighbors, and all, they were standing next near my head. And if that blood color I see, that means my body was lying there for at least 45 minutes to an hour, because in India the ambulance doesn't come just like this. Okay. And then, okay, that was down. Then I said, okay, where I'm going now? So there was a white tunnel, and there were two entities were coming towards me. One was like a near to me, has come to take me, and to that entity I was giving my hand. But definitely those entities had a male like energy, and one entity was like a behind, little far, I could see springly. And then I looked at, okay, I again looked down. I saw my daughter. Then I have one son also, and that time the son was 5 6 year. And I said, no, I have my children are waiting for me at home. Then I looked at, I said, no, I have my children's waiting for me at home. And so I need to go back for my children. And literally, I had given the hand like this, and they let me go, saying, okay, come back wherever you wish. Come back whenever you wish. That is very important. They did not just let me go with the promise or the open opportunity that you are welcome back whenever you wish. That was interesting. Okay. Then I just moved my soul came in my body, or something happened, and I felt a lot of pain over here, stiffness, and I heard sound. She is alive, she is alive, she is alive. Okay. Then second, I was in a hospital. I tried to open my eyes and see the things, but I was not able to see anything. Everything was blur, luminous light blur. Okay. This is what happened. Okay, I saw the doctors or something touching over here. And then I realized, oh, something had hit me very badly. And I took the opportunity to travel in my soul. Of course, this is the knowledge from our Vedic science and the guidance of my mom. So, as we say, that size of our soul is Sahasra Kushagre. Kushagre means hair, Agra means deep of a hair. When you break that in the 1,000 part, the one tiniest part of it is the size of our soul. So this soul can travel anywhere. So I asked my, like, as my soul means, now I was more dealing with, and with my soul, take the drive in my brain to check what has happened. So there was one movie, if you remember, I don't know, quite childhood, like they put some small things in the blood and they travel and something like that kind of thing. My soul started traveling all the brain, and it was like a kind of it. It was so in the fraction. So what I noticed, where is damage, so those circuitry was like a blinking in the red color. Which circuitry was working, that was in a blue color. Which circuitry is trying to heal is the green color. Okay. And that time I was working as a general manager finance. No connection with this neurology, brain, etc. No, not at all. But I've been like, I'm spiritual from the childhood because of my upbringing and my mother, etc. So I wasn't scared or anything. I was just observing and whatever needed to be done that time. And I've been always curious, why, what, where, how. Okay. So I did not had any kind of a fear or anything, not at all. So curious what is happening in my brain. And when I further came into the neurology, etc., and then those color made sense to, oh yeah, I had seen this. So from where that green color, blue color, red color came, I don't know. So this is how I travel in my own brain. Okay. And then after a while I also started talking to doctor. Okay, do these, you are doing good job, don't worry, because that lady's, the hands were shaking, and it was early morning, 7, I think like a 10 or something, and the people were shuffling the duties, so they have to rush or whatever, so her hands were shaking. And I was telling, oh no, don't worry, you're doing good job, don't get scared, because she was teaching the things and all. That is the second. Then third, I did not told anyone that I'm not able to see, because I don't create the panic. I'm pretty calm person. And when I came to my room, all my neighbors, etc., they came with the food and all. And one of the lady gave me the food to eat. I have a lot of love around me and the people around me. So I put the food in my mouth and I was not able to taste it. There was no taste, no smell, nothing. So that was the second thing. Then my husband came. I was not able to recognize. So then I realized, wow, there's a lot of interesting new experiences I'm going to have. Blur, eyesight. In fact, hospital, I was not able to see anything. Absolutely wide. I had lost my memory. I had lost my senses. Taste, nose, everything. I had lost my senses. So this was after my hit to this stage, like I came to know exactly where now I stand physically, mentally, and emotionally. And it was very nice churning process outside today. Normally people think, oh, the near that experience or accident, the most horrible things happened to me. But today I will say no, that is the most important thing happened to me, which changed completely the course of my life. Not for my betterment, but what it made me as a channel for the universe. That. So after the accident, there's a process. You have to go to the police station and the person who hit and all this thing. And when I went in the police station, that person was sitting in front of me and I recognized him, whereas he had hit me from the behind. And I told him, look, bro, you have not done anything intentionally. And he like fell on my feet and said, sorry, madam, I'm really sorry. Then I looked at him and I said, look, brother, you have not done anything intentionally. It happened, and I'm glad it happened. That doesn't mean you do hit anybody else.
I love that. And it's so wonderful the way you look at it. So you're essentially saying it wasn't the worst thing that happened in your life, and it was this horrendous accident that not only had an immediate impact, but that also left you, once you were awake, it left you with no memory, no eyesight, barely any, no senses. So you're probably wondering, who am I? Who are these people around me? And I love the contrast between how everybody would feel if we are in that situation. And here you're saying it was a blessing. So walk me through the blessing part. Walk me through what's going on in your mind when you're in that hospital, no memory, barely any eyesight, and you also do not know if it's ever going to get any better. What's going on in your mind, in your head at that point?
Okay. I spoke to doctor finally that this is happening. What is exactly happening? And he said, Rome, it will take 5 years to diagnose exactly what has happened to you. Who has a 5 years? I was working at a very senior level where every minute of my presence in the organization is counted. 5 years? I say, okay. Yeah, and they wanted to put me on the steroids, etc. From childhood, I'm born and brought up and living with the Ayurveda. No processed food, no soft drinks, no, very like a simple Sattvic Ayurveda life I've been living, because that's how it is. There's nothing great about it. The culture, community I come from, we follow same diet, etc. So I took medicine only for the 10 days to the wound healing. And I told them that my body is not made for all these things, steroids. Then one of my investors, she is a doctor in the UK, she came all the way and she said, no, Rome, just try the steroids. And she's senior than me, so okay. And she put that drop nozzle steroids, and I furiously started bleeding. Okay. And I told them, leave me on my own. I really appreciate you people want me back. Leave me on my own. And then I shut everything. I took 1 year retreat for myself. So in between what happened, I traveled the nearby hill station with my children for their summer vacation. I was always assisted with somebody, butler, because I used to lose my balance. I couldn't, like a spine was, everything was very significantly damages were there, but my willpower, which was like a holding me. Okay. And the first time I smell something, so I couldn't identify whether it is a milk is boiling or rice is getting cooked. But first time I said, no, I am able to smell something. Okay. Then what has happened exactly in my brain? And I started digging like medical science and Ayurvedic science. I started digging deep dive. The which part of my brain has been damaged or hit. When I'll go to the market, I will not smell the coriander, but I will smell the different kind of a essence. If you give me vanilla essence, I will smell the chemical in that. But if you give me the vanilla bean, I will able to smell the vanilla. So my nose became like a kind of a sniffing dog. So anything artificial, it will smell very weird. Okay, which is natural, I'll be able to smell it. I said, no, I have something to get from that. Apart from that, very, very interesting thing, which I hold that string of the thing and continue further, I was able to chant all my mantras. It's interesting. And our mantras, chanting goes for hours and hours. So I'll share one like a little over here, because West knows Om Namo Shivaya, Om Bhagavate, Om Narayana, only this much mantra, right? But I'll take a little while and share that the mantra goes to 40-45 minutes. So I'll just cover like a few seconds of one mantra over here. ओम नमो भगवती वार्ताली वार्ताली वराहि वराहि वराहमुखी वराहमुखी अंधे अंदिनी नमः रुंदे रुंदिनी नमः जम्बे जम्बिनी नमः मोहे मोहिनी नमः स्तंभे स्तंभिनी नमः सर्वदुष्टां प्रदुष्टां सर्वशां सर्ववाक्चित्ता चक्षुर्मुखा गतिर्जिह्वा स्तंभनं कुरु कुरु शीघ्रं वश्यं ऐं ग्लौं ठः 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 हुं अस्त्राय फट् स्वाहा. So if you notice, when I'm chanting this mantra, I'm not stopping anywhere. I don't have to think what next I have to chant, whether I pronounce it right or wrong, right? And this mantras, as I say, goes 45 minutes and hours, and I was able to chant. So, though the memories had wiped up, but this thing was there. That was surprising. Okay, so every day was something surprising I will find out about my situation. Okay, then there was one group where they work, not in India, West, like a memory lost people who has the head injury, whether they are able to recover and all not. So I joined that group, started observing what other people goes through and all this thing. Okay, then coming back to my Vedic thing, so it was more like a practical study and experimenting. Okay, then I noticed, like before my accident I used to draw very beautiful artistic scenery, but after accident I couldn't sign as well. I couldn't hold my pen, I could not sign. Then I studied a lot about the left brain, the right brain. So my olfactory gland was then hippocampus area, these, that. Literally now I took the dive in the brain through the medical science. Okay, like a crazy, I started learning so much, taking courses and all this thing. I like got fascinated with this organ called the brain. Okay, but other side, what was there in a Vedic science for me to activate my brain is activating all those nerves which were hit. Okay, so I started doing the different breathing techniques, so much, because my mom had told me your body has the healing capacity, provided nothing is taken out of your body or nothing is inserted in your body. It's in the natural state. When your body opens up, your energy, prana, get leak, so you feel weak. In fact, like after cesarean session also, if you notice any cut happens to your body, you lose your pranic energy and you feel the weak. But it can be restored again with the prana. So we can have the prana through the breathing, through the water, and through the good pranic energy sourcing food. So
Tell
being,
me,
yeah,
tell me more about how we get back that prana when we've lost it.
yeah. So breathing. At my retreat center, I have developed various breathing techniques. So we can inhale that prana. But definitely you cannot be in the polluted place and inhale, because there's a prana is also polluted. Okay. I'm lucky enough, blessed enough that I live at a very countryside nature, and the people who come at our retreat also love that full nature greenery around. Okay. Another thing, being a vegetarian, I prefer to having the lot of fresh veggies, colorful food on my platter. Is that. Second thing, being a yogi, we eat very less. Literally, we eat very less. Okay, so right now my lifestyle, I eat only one meal. So age of 30, my mom said to me, like, if you want to live the healthy and happy life, you must live one meal age of 30. So I left the dinner. Age of 40, I left the lunch. And now I'm 50 plus. I take only one meal. That's more vegetable and all this thing. Small portion. So your body cells start working. And that's why we have a fasting and all these things in our system. Okay. So inhaling the maximum prana. Breathing is the must at a good atmosphere. 60% of your prana is restored. A proper the breathing techniques. Okay. Remaining 40%, 20%, or 30%, I will say, come from your food. And 10%, I will say, like from the water. But yes, major amount of your restoration of a pranic energy, prana in your body can be done with the breathing. Along with that, your vagus nerves, your neurological system, you can revive with the breathing. And that's what helped me. So many people who are in the mental illness or some physical limitations, etc. Because this is how I healed my body. Okay. Then second, mantra chanting. Mantra pulsate the sonic energy. It has been tested and proved by the science. Our body is 72% water. So when we chant these mantras, the water in your body vibrate. The vibration around you purifies all the other energies coming towards you. So these are the some modalities I use for my recovery. Where am I today? So that near-death experience, my limitation of body and brain open up this big door for me, which not only restore myself, but today I'm able to share others my finding. That's what I love. That's what I said. It wasn't something horrible thing happened to me. It was just one hit to put me on the right path, which I am destined to. Apart from that, I started doing a lot of soul traveling and soul psychology, etc. Because whatever happens to you in this life has the print of your various previous life. Your body may be carrying the genetic print from your mother and father of this birth. Of course, they will be carrying the genetic print of their father and mother and great parents. But your soul carries so many prints of so many lives. So you can forget your destiny, but your destiny will never forget you. So this was my destined path, which I committed before coming on the earth, signed the agreement, which I had forgotten. So it was hit to wake up call. Okay?
So, what I find fascinating is the journey to healing that you've taken, and there's various things that I want to ask you about that. But because you mentioned diet and it being so connected with our life force, with our life energy, you've also mentioned, your mom advising when you turned 30 to drop one meal and then at 40 to drop another one. So why is it that food can have this power to either help us heal and be in touch with our prana, or if I was to think of somebody, for instance, who eats 3 meals a day, maybe snacks as well, eats McDonald's, I'm sure you have all of those processed foods in India as well, like muffins, burgers, all of that. What happens to this person's life energy? So just lots of food coming in, lots of chemicals into that food. What does it do to our body?
First of all, like, you wanted to know about my childhood? So, my spiritual journey started when I was 3 years. The first question I remember very heavy, I asked my mom why the people die, where they go after they die, why then the children die, why the war happens, why the Africa is like this. All this the question. And she used to talk me the way I'm talking to my student. She never asked me, keep quiet, or you are too young to ask this question, or you don't need to know this thing. So she will very peacefully answer all this thing. She wasn't literate, but she was a lady with the wisdom. Wisdom for the life, that I would say. So she remains my first guru. And the food from her. Okay. So she had a lot of rules for the food. And during those days, India, we will really get fresh, leafy green vegetables, legumes, and all our food was unprocessed. Like we will get paddy from the paddy field, we will take to the milk, or and in the at home we will remove the husk. Okay, we will take the nuts to the cold press mill to get the oil. The cows were the part of our living, like a member of a family. So we never had any processed food in our kitchen. Everything freshly made, warm, consumed. Okay, so she gave very much importance to the food, the way we cook, the way we eat, and how much we eat and how we eat. She gave very much focus to this food part. Okay, and I remember if I'm upset, I will not have the food till today. If anything like not comfortable, I'm not in a cheerful mood, I will not have the food. Okay, so the food in India we call anna hai purna brahma. Brahma means cosmos, okay, or the creator. So all that food is on your platter is created by the same creator who has created you, right? And the vegetarian food is like a whichever next to the sun, which has the direct sun energy. We used to eat only that food. So there are the many food which we don't eat in our Vedic, yogic, sattvic part. As I say, from the childhood, I've been having that path. So that I also notice how it helps our emotions and mood. Okay, so all this pranic energy comes from the food, freshly procured, freshly prepared, and warm consumed, because after 3 hours the food become dead. Okay, whether it is vegetarian, but after 3 hours the food become dead. So whatever food you consume should be digested within a 3 hours. When is that? Second thing, as I said, it should be warm, how it is prepared. So in my retreat, I chant always a lot of mantras. So the food has that energy. So there is a what the cooking under behind the cooking. There are the emotions, love, holy thinking, right? There's nothing commercialization. Another thing, no processed food. It should be the whole food. Now there is a fad of a millet. But let me tell you something, how to consume the millet. The millet becomes easy for the digestion if it is fermented. Okay. Now people eat a lot of millet thinking it has a fiber. But when it is already processed, easy to eat, where the fiber is gone. So every food has its own nature, and that I would say the ingredients, every ingredients, like every ingredients, whether it is vegetables, legumes, grains, nuts, everything has a kapha, vata, pitta characteristics, the way our body has. Okay, which get influenced by the seasons. So we have a strict diet, what to eat in which season and how to eat, because the process you perform on the whole food I'm talking about. There's no packed food and processed food in my kitchen at all till today. And that is one more the key of my patient or the guest getting healed. You can look at our review, they say like a magic happens in the kitchen. So let thy food be a medicine. That only happens when you follow all these rules and regulation set by the Ayurveda, and the more awareness about the whole food. I notice a lot of people come at our retreat and they have a constipation. And so they will have a yogurt with the fruits. And that is the main cause of your constipation. You think you eat a millet, but this all is a process. Your burgers, pizza, and all, it's a process, right? So people took the food which is easy to eat. There are some region in world they eat like a pizza, etc. But you will see they have a lot of salad along with it. So that compensate. So it has to be the balanced food. So when it comes to the food, if you want to revive your thing, it should be the whole food. Whole food, soul food. Okay. Now you make there's a lot of food of smoothies. You are combining milk and fruits. As per the Ayurveda, it is a poison. So at least they are trying, but little more conscious way trying will give the double benefit of this thing. Another thing, the carrot, eating the carrot gives the more fiber than the carrot juice. Okay, you can have your juice detoxification, etc. But it can't be the permanent solution, because then if you're starving your body, the body starts storing the things, etc. So there is a nature of your body as well, which get affected with your lifestyle, your mental status. For me, the health is physical, emotional, mental, financial, and the spiritual. So the food plays very important part, like healing you, but provided that is a whole food. And another thing, like the food pyramid, if you see of India, at the bottom we have a grains. The second is the vegetables. Okay, third is the legume. Fourth is the dairy product. Yes, because the cow, we don't have yet industrialist dairy farming. Nuts, and at the top we have our herbs, and all those herbs monitor entire the pyramid. Okay, those herbs plays the important role as our medicine. So proper knowledge of the all those ingredients we are going to use in your cooking, their kapha, vata, pitta characteristic, how you can play with their nature, with which process helps a lot. So thumb rule, whole food, soul food, freshly cooked, freshly warm, consume. And I think that's what I follow. And yeah, leaving the meal, because as we age, our body doesn't need that those many calories. Okay, so this was my simple way of my mother teaching me. But our old Indian generation, we are very obedient. We had no chance asking why. Only you have to do what the way you want to do. Okay, so yeah, and we take our dinner 7 o'clock. The nowadays, since I take only one meal, either it will be the breakfast or evening 5 o'clock, one meal. Second thing, you should consume the meal 60% of your stomach capacity. So there is no chance of overeating. Okay. And as you eat less, your body cells are like active, because they have to really manage the energy. So body cells are really active. It doesn't make you lethargic. It's always keep you active. So my day start early morning 3:30 and ends up at sharp 9:30. So food plays very important part in the yogic life. And if you really want to have a longer, I would say, if you really want to have the healthy life, take care of your food, which you give to your body, which you give to your mind as well. So you will have a Ayurveda, they say, is a science of a longevity. So it is not only in the medicine, the major part of Ayurveda is in the food. Hope I answer your questions.
You definitely did. And I wanted to say, you've mentioned, people thinking that sometimes you might feel lethargic if you eat less. But I have been fasting for years, and I sometimes eat when I'm good. I eat one meal a day. I mostly eat 2 meals a day. And to be honest, that those are the moments when I have the most energy.
I never drink the water from the fridge, and no soft drink, etc. Of course, no alcohol and all. So everything will be warm or the room temperature. Okay. And I'm really happy that West is waking up now. West is waking up now. All they need is little bit more clarity and easy way to follow it. So it will help them, but definitely they are waking up. Okay, the whomsoever is all set to wake up, they only wake up. End of the day, everyone will wake up. Everyone is near or far, but they will wake up. But there are majority awakening process is happening now, and I'm glad they are doing that, and hope you can help them to give the proper knowledge how to do it. They want to do it. We can, how to do it. What is next?
Absolutely. So the next topic I want to get into are the mantras. And it was very interesting to understand that when you had no memory, you still had the ability to recall and to chant a 45-minute long mantra. But what I want to know from you is, why do mantras help? So what happens when we're chanting that mantra? What happens to us? What happens with our energy, with our bodies? And what kind of effects does it produce?
Okay, so this question has a little depth answer from my previous lives as well. Okay, so on the spiritual path, the where am I today, it doesn't happen only in this lifetime. It happens in the many life we collect the knowledge of spiritual life. So I have done a lot of sadhanas in my previous life, which I travel during this phase of my rebuilding. And those all the memories are stored in our supraconscious mind. Supraconscious mind. So we also call the Kundalini awakening, etc. But sorry, the West has still very shallow knowledge of the Kundalini awakening. Kundalini awakening means connecting your innate wisdom, which you carry from your previous periods life, which is deep inside, stored in this your supraconscious mind, connects again to the higher conscious. Okay, nothing like going high and all this thing. So anyway, so those mantras, because when I came on this path, how it started like a mantra and yantra, as I said, the mantras we chant from our childhood. Okay, I started chanting the mantra, as I said, the age of 3. I was put into the Vedic school, so where is all our part is the chanting the mantra, and all in those boys I was only the girl, because priest saw me because when my parent took me to the priest, because we have the daughter is born, what name to be given to her, and we do that calculation on the numbers and all this thing, and they gave me the very beautiful name. The name is Pradnya, which is infinite wisdom. And the priest wife used to conduct these classes, and I was the only girl who was in that class who started chanting the mantra so early age. So that class used to be 9 to 11:30, and after 11:30 I will go to the normal school. Okay, so it has a lot of hard work also behind that. So as you are born with the destined destiny, and you choose that kind of a atmosphere, so that atmosphere was already there for me. Okay, which kept on adding all the sadhanas I did my previous life. So those were all stored over here. Okay, then I took also deep dive in the sacred geometry. West call is a sacred geometry. Here East India we call is yantra. Okay, so it works with your left and right brain. So I started drawing the various yantras, chanting their mantras. How I feel when I draw those geometric shapes. As I said earlier, I was able to draw nice flowers and leaves, but now I was not able to sign my own signature as well. But I was able to draw the lines, and this is how I got hold back of my motor neuro skill. Okay, I started drawing the yantra just mad, just take, and I learned more than 200 yantras, so that every yantra has the associated mantra, and every mantra manifests or let you experience a certain kind of energy. So I invested years and years in this. I was lucky enough, I had an opportunity to take that long retreat to do all this thing. Okay, and when this, like a mantra is the sonic sound system, sonic sound. And when we chant the mantras, as I said earlier, it pulsates the energy. So we name them as the deity name, right? If you want to experience the different energy of a different mantra, I will chant the two mantras. So the audience will feel the difference of energy. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrutyor Mokshiya Mamrutat. Om Bhuvaswaha तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्. Then earlier which mantra I chant, if you observe the vibe of those mantras are different, right? So earlier mantra which I chanted, which was asking the Lord Shiva, hey, Lord Shiva, who are the giver of a good health and vitality, I don't ask for the immortality, but as long as I live, grant me the boon of good health. Okay? Where the second mantra, Om Bhu, that is on the Lord Sun, hey, life giver of this planet or this cosmos, give me your energy. So I'm just covering in the short, like every mantra has a deep dive, a lot of energy, meaning interpretation. Okay, so every mantra has its own energy, and which one you want to experience that time. So that is the beauty of our Vedic literature. All the formulas are there, All you need to have a way and a patience to dive into it and experience it. Okay. um, 3 months back, one guest came from Sweden to our retreat. Of course, she was energy drained and all this thing, everything recovered, but she has the passion for the boxing. I'm not a violent person. So, and the 15 days back, she sent me a medal picture with her. Rom, I could do this because of you. And she said, I chanted this mantra which you share with me, and that mantra gave me the fire and energy. So I use the mantras also in my retreat center. So it is like my retreat center or my practices or my way of a living, where the medical science works with the Vedic ancient science in the hand in hand with the Ayurveda wisdom. Because all is there for the humanity.
Exactly. And I think it's so amazing the work that you do, and I'm so happy to hear that you have people from all over the world coming to learn this. It's something that we've definitely forgotten. And I want to ask you about something that we see in the Western world quite often nowadays, mental health issues. It seems that we're talking about it more than ever. And the interesting part is that it seems to be affecting us younger and younger. So I'm talking about children that have depression, that have anxiety. What do you think of these disorders that we bucket into the mental health category? And how do we begin to uncover what the root problem is?
Very, I appreciate you asked this question, because so far so many podcasts and interview no one asked this question. And in fact, my next step is holistic yogic brain wellness. And whatever am I today and where I'm heading, or like my services or my offerings are heading, are contributed by the guests who are coming from all over the world and different phases of a life. As my youngest client, 7 years boy, till the eldest client, 83 years grown up child. Okay, so yes, I notice, like, the biggest pandemic we are experiencing is mental illness. There are the many factors are involved in this. Okay, first of all, I'll make people, like audience, aware of it. What is the child? Because child, and they see the symptoms what the child is going, but where is the root cause? Where the root cause is coming from? That body has the name, and that body is your child, but that body has the soul. And while that soul is in a womb, the brain, a body of that child is like a sponge, absorb each and everything from the surround. In what circumstances the child has been conceived, what kind of a soul level that child soul is. If it's a child soul, toddler soul, or infant soul, or the matured soul, old soul, or ancient soul, these are the various the ages of the soul. According to that, that soul will take the impact of the surrounding things happening. The child is always absorbing the emotions of the mother and the father, emotions of the surroundings. Child carry the genetic print of a parents, right? So many things the child is born with it. And when the child is born, what kind of atmosphere the child is into? Till the womb, it was a soul who was forming this body. Once the birth is taken, after a few months, it is just a child. Okay. So what kind of a atmosphere during the pregnancy? What kind of the mental situation of a mother during the pregnancy? Those things the child will carry. Then childhood time, like we say, you may be aware of the chakra system. Mooladhara chakra, root chakra, which is affected during the child's childhood time, 0 to 7. Parenting, friends, siblings, surrounding, school atmosphere, all this effect during that time. Okay. So there are the different phases and how this childhood traumas or abuses, etc., get carried forward. Okay. Every word you are speaking to your child is building child's personality and confidence. So your communication with the child matter a lot. So many factors are there, like we can go and talk because I see those traumas of a childhood are carried till they die, till age 70 and all this thing. So making this all, like I would say, hiding all this real fact, what is happening in today's world, they are amlam, autism, ADHD, bipolar, and given the medicine. No one take time to talk to the child or understand the child. So it is not like it is every society or every parent has the some limitations. You know, it is not their fault as well. There's a limitation of the information and the practices available. So I have seen the parents or the people, they will give the pill and shut them. But during that time, you are taking the innate ability of that child brain. You are making that brain dormant, which I observe a lot in my retreat. And they are given with so much fear that if you don't take this medicine, your situation will be the worst. Never leave that. And I have seen the small children are given such a high, huge doses, in spite of knowing that these doses will have the side effect in near coming future. Still. So here I will say, how about working together hand in hand, medical science and the Ayurveda? And yes, involvement of a parents. But since today's the parents are also busy with the material thing, and in India we still have a good family system, and there's a lot of nuclear families in the West. That is also one reason for all this thing booming mental pandemic. Another thing, like in India, when we turn 17, 18, 19, we have been more watch guard. And we will say, oh, this time you should not go out, this time I do, blah, blah, blah. So basically, it wasn't not like a something dominating, etc. It's like a taking care of the things, which I observed during my childhood. Until today, I follow the same lifestyle. So I'm able to utilize my years and my energy for the betterment. I'm like not getting disturbed like an invited and stupid incident. Okay. And the strong family systems gives the confidence to us to handle every situation in our life. So here, like we have been always said, like a medicine is not the ultimate. When thing doesn't work, take the help of medicine, come back on the track, and move on. Don't depend on anything, especially the medicines. Okay. So a lot of our medical illnesses, mental illnesses, I would say, mental illnesses can be taken care of holistic, Vedic, yogic way of living, and they add more advantage. The entire personality of a child changes towards the better way rather than getting irritated. I have seen like a this child one came retreat and he was prescribed, and I told the mother, no, don't take off the child immediately. We will take slowly, gradually. Let's see what happens. And she said, no, Rom, because she was in my retreat for a couple of time. So she said, no, Rom, I trust. Let's do it. And we decided, okay, let's see. And when that day we did not give him the medicine, and he started, oh no, I'm getting zombie, I'm getting this, that. So mentally he is also somewhere conditioned that way, that if I don't take this medicine, I will become this. No, that child is not fully grown up as well. Who are you to control the vastness of this child's brain capacity? And then what we did, we gave the half that medicine and half the Ayurveda medicine. This is how slowly we started. And now child is off the drugs and doing excellent in the study. So of course, this will be changed as case to case. But I salute to that mother who took the initiative. There are the mothers who are taking this initiative. It is a really bold step for the West to accepting this. And it needs a lot of courage to bring the change. So this is my experience, my take on this subject.
So you were telling me why food is important.
So even if you notice my Jackma podcast sister, I would even appreciate it that she is a real yogi. You can be a yogi when you live as a yogi, you know, and all our wisdom in the Sanskrit language. So you need to be in with the person who knows this language in the depth. And I'm lucky enough, this is a language of our community where I born. So when I was in a school, I was of course a scholar, and they asked, like we had a Sanskrit and a French to choose. And I said, I don't want French because I know that I'm never going to go to French. Why to West? I'm good with my Sanskrit. And today the French are coming to my retreat to learn the Sanskrit. So taking proper decision, proper time, sometime work. Okay. So coming to the one more theory or the wisdom in our Vedic about the food. If you notice, today's the food system is completely disturbed. Our relationship with the food is damaged, and that is the cause of so many diseases are breeding, right? Even like I noticed West, after the Second World War, the women started working. Good, everyone wanted the financial independence, comfort, but then we start moving away from the food. More processed food companies came in the market, making our life easier. Same in India. Okay, but we still make our food majority. When the Kellogg's came over here, and Kellogg said, we will make it that entire India will start eating a cornflake. But no, now the Kellogg is selling the Indian food in Indian market. But still here also the things are changing because other big brands are taking over here, and people in the name of a glamour, and everyone has the money and getting into it. Okay, so I'm also setting up certain things in India which will focus more on the hygiene part of a food and making awareness in the food industry. So where I have my brand of holistic vegan food wellness. Okay, so as per our thing, there are the four yugas, four cycle of this entire earth creation. So we call it Satya Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, and the Kali Yuga. So, Satya Yuga, Satya means pure. Satya means pure. So, everything is in a pure form. In fact, our relation with the higher self created was also pure. There was no duality. There was no duality. And same was in the West as well. If you notice, the earlier days, there was a farming and people will have the normal, what is grows on the farm will be there on their platter. So that is called the Satya Yuga. And then second came is a Dwapar Yuga. Dwapar means two, duality. Dve, if you are Ashtanga Yoga, may be aware of something. In the Ashtanga Yoga, they will say Dve. Dve means two. So there come the duality. That is a creator and this is me. The human being started getting distance from the creator. Okay. Then came the Treta Yuga. Three. In the Treta Yuga, there's a creator, and this man will make me to talk to the creator. So then there came the mediator between you and the God or the creator. And it happened in all the religion, as we discussed at the beginning. It was happening in all the religion. And then the power and manipulation, everything, holding, understanding, all this thing, misunderstanding, and all this thing happen. Then fourth one is Kali Yuga. Okay, the food and Kali Yuga is connected a lot, because there it was mentioned that the fourth, all the bad things will be Kali, who's supposed to be destroying all the creation, will come through the food. And this story was told to me by mom in the childhood, and I'm so surprised that what I'm seeing now in front of me. So if you see something demon or these like a deity or anything will not appear in the form. It will appear in the form of other forms. We say if the God comes in the God form, you will not recognize him. You will think, oh, he may be the participating in the fancy dress competition. Right? So God has to appear in the in other thing. Like sometimes we say, oh, there was a godly person appear in my life and my life got changed. Oh, there was an angel, like a lady came and helped me during that time. Right? So this Kali, who's supposed to be destroying now the things, will come through the food. That was mentioned over there. That's why now everything is polluted. If you notice, water is polluted, the first and most. Air is polluted. Earth is polluted. Right? Sky is polluted. Space is polluted. So we are all offspring of all the polluted elements, because all we made of 5 elements. You're aware of it. Earth, water, fire, space, and the sky. All we are made of these 5 elements, and all these 5 elements are polluted. So imagine how much energy we need now within ourselves to keep all this pollution away from us and survive in this. So this is Kali Yuga, where the food is going to be the main cause of people's physical, mental, all the illnesses. And that's why the real food is completely far, far away from what we are eating now and what we have become now. So we really need to go back to our root in our kitchen.
Now, Rome, for everybody that has been listening so far and they're thinking, I've learned so much about how to prepare my food, how to think of my lifestyle, what I need to study further. You've mentioned doing retreats. How can people connect with you, with your work, and if you want to tell us more about your retreats?
Thank you. They can visit my websites. Okay, they can connect to me, and as I said, this year is going to be more I'm giving, because there comes the time when you have to start giving, so you become the lighter. Okay, you know what is a life? Your first inhalation, you're born as the breathe. You don't have any name, etc. When you're born, your first breathing is your born, and when you die, your last breath, and what remains is the name. Okay, but during this journey, that time is only with you, and the time comes you have to start giving. It's as simple as West says, you should know when to get up from the table. So this year I'm gonna post a lot of videos on my channel to spread this knowledge, because all the people can't travel to the retreat, but yes, the people who are like really want to experience the change in their physical, mental, emotional well-being, who are deep into the spiritual path, who want help, my retreat is over here. I'm available. Get in touch with me. Or the people who are not able to travel, etc., they can be in touch on my online thing. I'll be sharing a lot because time has come to give back. And this is what I have. And we have not a mantra, the saying from our Sanskrit. Okay, I'll tell you a little bit about our Sanskrit language, because now what is a language? People think the way of a communication, right? That is one part. But the Sanskrit language, bhashyate iti bhashyaha. Bha means enshrining, means wisdom. The language Sanskrit is full with the wisdom. That is the beauty of this language. Okay. So there is when like this has been told to my mom, my childhood. I've been like following this. न च चौर्यहार्य न च भातृभाज्य न च राजराजकरी व्यय वर्धति नित्य विद्याधनम सर्वधनम pradhanam. The meaning of it is like your wisdom, your knowledge is going to be yours. The thief cannot snatch from you, take away from you. It cannot be divided in the brothers and sisters. Neither king can dominate your knowledge. But the knowledge is such a well that as you give, it increases. So now time has come to act on it. Give, it increases. And people like you will be joining us to spread this knowledge. So whomsoever is there, I'm here to share whatever I have with you open-heartedly. Oh, that's good.